After a July wildfire destroyed 1/3 of the town of Jasper, including 800 homes, people were displaced. The provincial and federal governments both said they would provide interim housing for people who lost their homes. Behind me is one site where interim housing is supposed to be, but as you can see, there's not a single home in sight. So what's the holdup? Let's start with what's there. There are 4 sites that have been approved in town for interim housing. They each have been serviced so they can get hookups for things like gas and electricity. In October, Alberta's government announced $112 million of funding to build 250 modular homes, with the first of them ready for move-in by late January. Alberta's Senior and Social Services Minister, Jason Nixon, says the province hasn't delivered on their promise due to, quote, roadblocks from the municipality and Parks Canada, saying not enough land has been made available for the lower density housing it wants to provide.
We were able to work with industry to come up with a way to be able to develop 250 single-family homes that could be put in place very, very quickly within a couple months. The reality, though, is that sadly, to date, we still have not actually received any land except for 8 locations for up to 8 houses. We clearly cannot build without land. And we have continued to communicate that concern to the federal government, of which has the ultimate jurisdiction, of course, over the national park.
As for the feds, Parks Canada says it is in the process of procuring multiple high-density housing options, including work camp-style units. Options they say can fit using the land already set aside. While originally promised to be on the ground in late January, the delivery date for the first batch has been pushed back to mid or late February.
They're meant to serve as interim housing, though. They're not meant to be permanent housing. They're meant to make sure people are warm and dry and can make food and can be comfortable while the rebuild occurs.
The municipality of Jasper is the third party here and has a housing-focused recovery team, not directly funding interim housing, but working with the other levels of government on administration. That team says making more land available, like the province would like, can't happen quickly.
Our understanding is that the provincial government considers them to be at a standstill or an impasse, and we are therefore prioritizing working with the RFP from Parks Canada to try to get those units here as quickly as possible, given that we do not have clarity or certainty on whether or not Alberta will deliver additional housing units in Jasper.
Jasper's mayor is still hoping a deal can be reached for the province to follow through on its plans.
We stand ready to welcome whatever units come through that process. And there is no way that we are suggesting that we do not want that support. Our community, in fact, needs that support and will welcome it.
So that's where things stand. Now, Jasper's residents are simply awaiting progress. Acton, Clarkin, CBC News, Jasper.